Now, Lillian is fighting to keep her driver's licence. The authorities say she's been caught red-handed on her phone while driving. But Lillian says it clearly wasn't her phone and she wants to prove it.
I got the letter, I saw the photo, I looked at the photo and I thought to myself, you've got to be joking. It's just outright ridiculous.
And whilst a picture may speak 1,000 words, at 100 kilometres an hour on a highway, it's a very, very narrow opportunity to prove anything.
She's the 19-year-old taking on the government in one mighty fine fight.
It's so ridiculously clear that I'm not on my phone.
Lillian Morrow has only had her licence for 2 years, but is adamant she isn't in the wrong.
Straight up, I saw the photo and I thought, I'm taking this to court.
Snapped on the M1 near the Gold Coast in this photo, it certainly looks like Lillian is holding something up to her face.
I'm quite confident that I would have been holding a vape, just having an itch, as you do, driving along.
She claims it's her vape, not her phone. Even more, Lillian says you can actually see her phone in the photo.
On the passenger seat, though, you can so clearly see my phone sitting there. I'm not touching it, it's just sitting there doing its thing.
Now Lillian is facing a $1,000 fine for the mobile phone offence and a potential loss of licence.
So yeah, it's 4 demerit points, and if you're on your red Ps like I am, that's a complete loss of licence for 3 months.
And that's something she's just not willing to cop for something she says she didn't do.
Ultimately, the police have got to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Solicitor Bill Potts says it can be a time-consuming mess to contest a fine, requiring the driver to go to court. But if you're adamant you're in the right and have evidence, it could be worth your while.
Often we are seeing people get off the matter simply because the photographs are unclear or because there is a reasonable defence.
The cameras which detect mobile phone and incorrect seatbelt use were introduced in Queensland in 2021. Initially, it was a trial. The state government started sending out fines from November last year. So far, more than 80,000 people have been nabbed. Earlier this year, we told you of 2 Tesla drivers who were adamant they'd been incorrectly caught not wearing seatbelts.
I thought initially that's impossible because I always wear my seatbelt. I drive a Tesla, which is quite savvy in terms of technology, so it will obviously have let me know.
I'm just not the kind of person that's never not worn my seatbelt. It's a habitual thing that you do every day.
Only to find out they weren't wearing the seatbelts correctly, an offence considered just as bad, resulting in a huge fine. At the time, Andrew Mann from Transport and Main Roads defended the new cameras.
We are very confident that in every case that we issue an infringement, that a penalty has occurred.
It's all in an attempt to curb our soaring road toll. Queensland is on track to have its highest death toll in more than a decade.
As small as it might appear, if it's taking your attention off your eyes on the road or taking hands off the wheel, that's going to have a level of distraction which again, one day, might cause an incident.
Russell White from the Australian Road Safety Foundation says anything but focusing on the road is a distraction, and you never know when it may prove fatal.
Some of those distractions might be more intense than others, but as I said, anything that's peeling our attention off the primary job of controlling the vehicle is a distraction.
Lillian has officially lodged her intention to appeal her infringement notice, and now she anxiously waits for her day in court.
I just don't think it's fair for me to have to pay the fine and take the points and loss of licence for something that I didn't simply do.
The Department of Transport and Main Roads told us it's unable to comment as the Magistrates Court will now hear the matter.